Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Welcome back to Podcast Room 303, episode 234. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us the EPE. On today's episode, we'll get into pop culture pick'em, top 5 Christmas gifts. We'll do head-to-head review, blind 5, NFL Week 15 review, and then the NFL Week 16 preview. How are you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm good. I'm getting the first taste in my life of near full remote work. And it's I don't know if you guys experienced this, but both of you have done remote work at some point in your professional lives. I feel like the possibilities are so endless that I end up doing nothing at all. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna log on, I'm gonna do some work, then I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna eat a healthy breakfast, walk the dogs at lunch, eat out afterwards, spend way more time with my girl.
Nah.
And everything's going to be great. I'm going to get so much work done. This is going to be great. You know what I did today? And by the way, if my employer is listening, turn off the podcast now because I'm just going to say good things about you and you don't need to listen to it. I realized that, and one thing I have to break is that, I did a training. And it was like a 2-hour training, right? Of course, government trainings. And I go, you know what? I'll play some Forza. I'll reward myself. I did good. But tomorrow, I'm going to work out in the morning. I'm going to walk the dogs.
Is that it? Is that it but tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. I mean, tomorrow's going to be way better.
Tomorrow's a new day, dude.
Tomorrow's going to be
We'll check back in a couple weeks, couple months, see how you're doing.
Dude, I'm just going to look. I'm just going to friggin' have a giant.
Also, tell Katie we all say what's up, considering, she's probably peeking around the corner when you said what you said there. Or you had to make sure you threw that in there, right?
She's not home yet. So that was CYA for if she does listen. Love you, babe.
Amazing. Fucking amazing.
That's next level big brain energy, dog.
Although she's going to read into it and she's going to be like, wait, hold on. She's smart enough that she's going to be like, wait, hold on. You said that you would spend more time with me, but you're not going to be able to.
I mean,
she's going to connect those two.
The honesty is real. You know what I mean?
Right. Love you.
And if anything can be built off this, is you're nothing if not honest.
Nothing if not honest. Honestly, I'm a piece of shit, but at least it's an honest piece of shit.
I was going to spend more time with you, but then I did nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. I planned to do it.
There was a goal, but Nick's about to give up in life. He's going to stop using soap and shampoo. He's going to sit around in his stanky, gym clothes since he doesn't need to shower and go anywhere immediately. He's going to attend meetings like that.
I already had so funny enough, I did have a meeting today to meet the team. And I was like, okay, I don't want to look like a schlub. And I'm always so I put on a collared shirt, took off the shirt that I'm wearing now and my sweatpants that I had on, put on underwear, classy decision. And then because I'm so petrified, and I don't think they can legally do this, but for my supervisor to go, hey, Nick, stand up. And I'm just wearing sweatpants, with a nice shirt and sweatpants. I put on actual work pants, if I were going into work, because I am petrified of somebody be like, hey, Nick, stand up. What are you wearing right now? And it's just me and my boxers.
That's definitely first, new to work from home behavior. Because at this point, dude, I just pop the lights on when meetings start, take the covers off, make sure I got no eye boogers in, and I'm in PJs just laying there in meetings now, dude. So you'll get to that point eventually. This morning I walked out. I think I heard Jermaine in a meeting. I walk out. It's completely dark. He's got blankets over his head. His hand is on the laptop, I guess, like moving the mouse around. I was like, classic work from home, dude.
Getting it. Now that I've been outed, hopefully my employers never listen to this show.
Oh,
Jesus
come on now, dude.
Christ. Thanks a lot, boys. I didn't like getting paid anyways. Let's go ahead and get into the let's get funky with it. Let's start with a blind five, Eric.
Blind five. All right, cool.
Panic. I wasn't ready for blind five.
No. I'm ready for it. So pretty easy this week. Just a fun one here. So the first option for you guys is damn, that was weird. The first option for you guys is
Iron on podcasts.
Wonderful Life.
Christmas movies. Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Wow.
To take that leap, big fella.
Hey, it's Christmas season. This is officially when you can start celebrating and
shut
doing
the
Christmas
fuck
shit.
up.
Yeah, Eric, it's
18
before
days
Christmas.
ago. My bad.
Eric, as a known hater of Christmas until it is Christmas time, the advent calendars I got as a kid start on the 1st of December. So that's when it starts. It's the 1st of December.
It's the 1st. And I'll allow you to start getting cheekily close to the 1st on Black Friday.
Right.
And I'll allow that. But anything before that, get fucked.
after I have had my Thanksgiving, after the calendar day of Thanksgiving has passed, celebrate as much as you want. I won't be celebrating until the 1st, but you do whatever you want. Malls, stores, whatever.
Until what? The 25th, and then it's over?
Yes.
Or do you carry over? Okay.
No.
As long as you don't carry over, we're good.
No, I like Boxing Day, like the idea of Boxing Day, and then that's probably where I'll end it. Because Boxing Day, I like to watch soccer now.
Yeah.
So I go from hoops to soccer, and it's 2 great days of back-to-back just awesomeness. So I'll add Boxing Day, but if you end it on when the clock strikes midnight and it's the 26th, you take that shit down, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Dude, my mom got mad at me one year. I tried to take the tree down like at 10 p.m. on Christmas Day. I was like, let's just do it now while we're all up instead of tomorrow morning. She's like, no, we're going to leave it at least through Christmas, Eric. I was like, all right, fuck, you win.
It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen this movie in its entirety. I think this is one of those movies where I've seen maybe every part of it just out of order. And I don't know. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. I started
Jimmy
with the
Stewart.
ending. No.
I never watched it until Mr. A sat on my head and made me watch it.
It's actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you wonderful building alone, Mary.
So where you guys putting that? 1?
I don't know. I think I'm good with 5.
Yeah, there's got to be more.
If we don't get 4 better movies than It's a Wonderful Life, I'd be shocked.
All right. Next movie, The Santa Claus.
With Tim Allen.
That's the first Tim Allen one.
Fire movie.
Yeah, I'd say 2.
2?
2.
We're going that high?
Oh, you don't want to put it that high? Okay.
I'm concerned there is some heat in the Christmas movie.
All right, I'll say 3.
Let's rock with 3.
Okay.
Just give us the wiggle room. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna spell clause with an E. All right. The next one, The Grinch.
I'm pretty sure his movie is with an E.
Yeah, it is. I just fixed it. Grinch.
Which one?
The only one that matters, dude.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
I love that movie.
The only one that matters, dude. First of all, that's a great movie. But the only Grinch movie that matters. First
relax.
of all,
I was just kidding.
Put some respect on the like 1940s animated one.
That one's all right.
That one is a timeless classic.
I like Jim Carrey's better. Jim Carrey's is fantastic.
and that's fine. But to not acknowledge the road that was paved by that movie.
First of all, it's 2023. We're making new Grinches like every 10 years. So
and they're all awful.
We get it. I don't actually agree with that. The newest one that came out with the Tyler the Creator soundtrack it's not better than the original animated, but it was pretty good.
I like the soundtrack. So
you were trashing it at him.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
I'm willing to put this 1, but it's up to you, Nick. The Jim Carrey Grinch movie.
Dude, I mean, like Jim Carrey is made for that. Like that move, that Mask and the Grinch are made for Jim Carrey.
Oh, dude, his like ad libs, his mannerisms, like
Let's see.
When he's going
6:30 dinner with me, I can't cancel.
when he went through the calendar, yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see. Self-loathing dinner with me, I can't cancel again.
Or are we putting that one, boys?
That's one.
I'm going number one.
Yeah, I'll go one. I'll agree.
The Grinch, number one. All right. Following movie option is A Christmas Story.
Oh, 4.
A Christmas Story?
Mm-hmm.
Is that that's not
the
a white?
That's the BB gun.
Well, shoot your eye out.
BB. God, that's a family tradition in the Morahan.
It is a family tradition. Number one for
shout
me.
out Papa Morahan.
I've never seen that movie. In its
shout out Papa Morahan. It's 4 though. It's
4. All right. Now there was a bunch of other options here. We can do honorable mentions after this, but my leg was pulled by one of our executive producers, so I'm going to add Die Hard.
But there's only one other one. There's
only
only one other executive producer.
Yeah.
Die Hard at number 2. This is the perfect list.
I would have been angry if Die Hard was not on this.
This is the perfect list. This is the perfect list.
Okay, Eric, run it back because I agree with Jermaine. I think we might have.
So, top Christmas movie, The Grinch with Jim Carrey. Number 2, the Die Hard. Number 2, Die Hard. Number 3, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Number 4, A Christmas Story. And number 5, It's a Wonderful Life. Honorable mentions that me and Nevada had spoken about. Bad Santa.
Fire.
A Violent Night.
Violent Night is with the dude from Stranger Things.
Yes, sir. The dude
David Harbour.
Krampus, Christmas Vacation, 4 Christmases, Bad Santa. There's a whole bunch of them in here. If you guys want to name any,
bro, we could do another blind 5.
So I was gonna do
movies.
Funny Christmas stories.
Dude, 100%.
I was gonna do funny Christmas movies and then just Christmas movies, but for the sake of this, we went with Christmas movies. Solid list. Obviously, you take off It's a Wonderful Life because it's old as shit and nobody really watches it, and you can add a plethora of movies there, but solid list from you guys.
So it's a Wonderful Life. If I had a family, I would make them watch it every year.
Yeah. We just with Katie's family watched White Christmas. That's like their movie.
What's White Christmas?
With Bing Crosby.
Is it full of white people?
Yeah, dude. Of course, dude. It's a movie made in 1954. I don't think Hollywood knew black people existed yet.
That's why I never heard of it. White Christmas, dude?
It's called White Christmas, yeah.
Pretty sure 1954 was running around Hollywood in the 50s, wasn't he?
Rosemary Clooney? Do not tell me this is George Clooney's
Rosemary.
That's his grandmother.
That's his Eric, you don't even know. You just you called him out right away.
Yeah, dude. He even did it like as he was drinking. He was like, "Oh, yeah, of course."
I know things, dude. Solid list though.
Children. No, the list is fire. So
yeah, George Clooney's her nephew.
George Clooney is her nephew?
Yeah.
Look at that, dude.
You were wrong.
Were not right.
Bro, aunt, grandma, same fucking thing. They both play the same kind of role in your life.
My guy claimed that like he was correct.
Right. Yeah, just like I said.
I was as close to correct as you could be without being correct.
First of all, I was the one who said Rosemary Clooney. Is she related to George Clooney? The leap was already made. You went out on a limb and picked the relation.
I almost got it, dude.
Also, what you just said before, that was ridiculous.
What?
I was as close to right without being right. So you were wrong.
Wrong.
There is no close to right, my
Yes,
guy.
there is, dude. There's a difference between being like tragically wrong and being like, all right, you almost had it, big dog.
All right, college football playoff committee. A win's a win and a loss is a loss.
My guy is grading on a curve.
Yeah. That's a good. I was wrong, but it was that close to being right.
It made me think, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's like, so I saw this meme or like a photo of like something that their kid did, and it was just like write an essay from a perspective of a Marvel character, and this kid picked Groot.
So you just wrote the same thing over.
So he just put I am Groot, Bart Simpson style. My guy just kept putting I am Groot until he filled up the box.
Oh, dude.
And I'm like, yo, you cannot fail that kid.
That's like this generation's equivalent of, you remember seeing that meme float around where it's like tell me like a college essay. It's like, tell me about a time you took a risk. And some dude just said on a college, it's supposed to be, it's like minimum or like maximum 1,500 words. And some kid just wrote this period and turned it in.
What did he get? Hey?
No, he got into college. Yeah. Cause he dropped his massive balls on the desk. He was like, this is a risk.
Dude, honestly, that is a big risk.
That's a big
like,
risk.
My guy knew it, and he's not the hero we need.
No.
He's not the hero we wanted. He's the hero we needed.
Exactly.
What a legend.
That's some massive balls. I mean, there was so much balls in what he just did. They had to like put a warning on the package before they opened it.
They did,
like,
yeah.
Big balls in here.
He came with a parental advisory. There was so much balls.
I did not expect this going there, dude. Got to clip this conversation. So we don't have a what the fuck headline, but I will nominate the firing of is it Brandon Staley?
Yeah.
For the Chargers, because he gave up 63 points to a team that had scored 0 points the week before. And we did not search this or fact check it, but we think that
feels right.
We think that is the most points scored by an NFL team the week after scoring 0. So
I mean, it's like the third most all time, right?
63.
I think so.
Is it really? Because then I'm going out on I'll put that in the locks, Eric. It's the most points scored after scoring 0.
Yeah,
dude.
so it is the 7th highest of all time. This is also the first year. Oh, why did I say third highest? Miami scored 70 this year. It is the first year in NFL history that 2 teams have scored over 60 points. 2 separate.
2 separate teams in one season. That's pretty cool. And both of them were versus AFC West opponents.
Yep.
You remember when they traded for Russell Wilson, and we all thought it was going to be like this monstrous division?
Yeah.
Because it was like Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, right?
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson. At the time, we thought Jerry Jeudy was that guy. The jury's still out. We'll find out when he's a future Panther. And then, Kansas City with Travis Kelce, we thought it was going to be awesome. And it turns out it's actually the AFC North. That's the division that's awesome with fucking shitbaggery all over the place. They all have 7 or more wins, I believe.
Yeah.
So I just think it's fascinating how quickly this division has devolved. So let's go ahead and know what the fuck headline. Let's go ahead and get to head-to-head. Oh my.
Head-to-head?
Boys, one of us has got to hit.
So I'll be honest,
12 zeros?
This is going to be the easiest head-to-head ever. None of us hit a bet this week. We are all down money, and life sucks. So fade us and make money. But Jermaine, 0-3. You got robbed multiple times.
I know. I lost the parlay, each parlay by one leg.
51, 89, and 1 on the season, down 6.7 units. So
McCaffrey scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I should put Mostert instead of A-Chain. Sitting pretty.
Nick, 0-3. He was blasted by his own team. He had the over 35 between Atlanta and Carolina. They give us a whopping 16. 44, 90, on the season, down 16.1 units. My shit was stupid. 50, 91, down 3.5 units. 0-3 this week. And lastly, Nevada, 0-3, 49, 89, and 1, down 10.3 units. Jermaine has now moved into second place units wise.
Woo! And let's go, boys!
First place for the number of wins on the season. I'm in first place units wise. Second place as far as wins. Nick, you're in last place for both, buddy. And then Nevada is in third for both. So 2 weeks left, guys. We have week 50 and week 51. The season ends on 12/31, which the year ends on 12/31. So that's perfect timing. So let's get these last 2 weeks. Let's all try to get into the positive.
I will not be making a bet under plus 10,000.
Watch, dude. He's gonna go 0-8 the rest of the year on his last bet. He's gonna hit like a plus 150,000 bet. And he's going to be positive and win the whole competition. I
only have 2 words, and this is in the Room 303 archives. Terry McLaurin. When I'm up against it, I pull it out.
All-time great bet. We won. What? How much did we win on that?
3,500. I think
Total.
I think it was 1,500 that we won. No,
because you.
No,
I
it was
put
$3,000. It was $3,000 because we both put 100 on it at plus 1,500.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was more than that. So 200 on plus 1,500.
What a win!
What a hit!
What a win!
Followed up by Dallas Goedert.
Oh yeah,
Dallas Goedert 70 and a tutty, and then I didn't ride the third one, and Nick hit a third one in a row. Why would I not ride the hot streak? What was I thinking?
I am so bad at gambling that I remember streaks. Remember my home run streak? Remember my home run streak this summer where I hit like 6 home runs in a row?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find a home. I was using the same exact process. And I couldn't hit a bet.
There's a lot of red in your ledger, Nick.
I did. So the gambling app the bet tracking app that I use, it's not a gambling site, but the bet tracking app puts out, it's like, because everybody does a fucking Spotify rap nowadays. It put out the game, dude. Yeah, it put out the year wrapped in betting. I was actually positive at the end of this year, which is good.
No way. I call absolute shenanigans.
Jewish God. John
Rahm really kept you positive for the year. You were living on that one player, dude.
Oh, I don't bet those things that I say. I don't know if you know how much money I made off those home run bets. I was up like $2,000 on those home run bets.
What? Yeah. So sorry, I cut you off, but you ended up positive.
Most team that I won the most money on. Would you like to guess?
Dodgers.
No, I would have shot myself. It was the Dodgers.
MLB team.
MLB team.
That you bet the most?
No, I won the most. No. It's not a team that you would be like, wow, Nick instantly hates
Baltimore.
This. No. The Houston Astros.
Oh, that's a safe bet. I thought it was an unsafe choice. Yeah. All right, so Houston Astros most money made. How many? How many?
That was to Eric.
I know. That's right. How many?
Why am I casting straight?
Because you know what you just said, you motherfucker.
You just said, what the fuck?
That's you know what I mean?
No, Eric, we don't. I can't just say, you know what I mean?
Just come on.
Come on, we're all friends.
It's like betting Christian McCaffrey to get a touchdown during his 18-game touchdown streak. Come on, bro. You don't get credit for that.
I don't bet, but I wasn't betting on the Astros. I was betting on Astros players to hit home runs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Come on.
Anyways, how many? What was your record on the season, Nick? That was just the most painful thing I had to ever sit through. That was ridiculous.
Right. Hold on. Yeah, I will
Eric
pull it up.
Just trolling Nick.
I will pull it up here.
You must have not had a late circumcision in life.
Eric, with your fucking alopecia ass.
Hey, it's not alopecia, dude. It's stress. You dickhead.
Best month just for my home run bets was June. I went 64, 55, and 2 in June, plus 88 units in June.
Yeah, okay. For the year, big fella.
Yeah,
I don't want a month-by-month break.
Hold on. I'm working through it.
It's like you're in the year-end meeting and you're like, well, this quarter we crushed it.
I was just like, this is year-end, big fella. Give me the year numbers.
Okay. Top team Houston. Let's see here.
This is just riveting.
Overall record. All right. Here we go, everybody.
There we go.
154, 208, and 7.
On brand.
I don't know. I'm not saying my unit size here for both my company, my girlfriend, and anyone who wants to invest with me financially. 887 units.
Up?
No. Bet.
Bet. Okay.
I don't even know if it tells you how much you've lost. And I'm not just saying that. Let me see if it tells you.
I don't want loss. You said you were positive on the year, right?
I was positive on the year, yes.
What's the positive? How positive were you?
Let's see. Oh, that's a big number to be negative all time. All right. We're not going to look at that. right, let's move on.
Oh, you got to delete that app when your girl.
Yeah, no, she's not. No, she'd be like, "You're cheating on me." I'm like, "No, I'm deleting my betting app so you don't think less of me."
Nah, I'm changing the passcode so you don't see my betting history.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't know. I can't find it.
That's the new way dudes are cheating. That's
Yeah.
Yo,
freaking
speaking of, did you
hysterical,
see
bro.
that lady? It's ironic that we brought this up. So there was a lady that went on I want to say it's like Fox News, one of the news stations, and apparently, the number one cause for divorce in 2023 was male gambling, was sports betting.
No way.
It's dividing houses terribly.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there's still like for people who didn't grow up in a house where there was a lot of like where betting was not like my dad would gamble. So it's like but like for people who grew up either in a really religious household or a household that was like, oh, you don't do that, that's a vice. I think people still view it as a vice. I mean, I've had people before that have told me like, oh, like gambling still has a negative connotation to a lot of people. We are just in this pond and we do a podcast where we think that all the fish around us equal society, and that's not true.
Yeah, we're also, this is something that you can get addicted to. We're betting with discretionary funds, right? So it's the same funds that people use to go entertain and go out to events and stuff. That's the money we're betting with. Whereas I'm sure there's a lot of America who are placing bets for the thrill. And I mean, they're already living paycheck to paycheck. So you don't.
So one example given in this article, one couple's divorce was traced back to the husband cashing out their 401k and their children's 529 accounts, devastating the family's financial resources and in turn destroying their marriage and relationship. One of the couples that was filed for divorce, one of the reasons was that the husband withdrew all of their 401k and their children's 529 accounts. Nick, you're a father, you might have a better understanding what that is.
Yeah. I don't know what that's
so it devastated the family's financial resources and in turn destroyed their marriage and relationship. So he cashed out the 401k and the 529 account.
Yeah, a 529 is a specific. A 529 is a specific like college savings account for kids. So essentially, they can't access it, and you can only use it to pay for education. So you put money away like 401k. It's not taxed, and then you have to use it for that kid's education, or it becomes taxed.
My God, this guy first of all, he upped his taxable income, right, by pulling all that out in that year. He upped his taxable income. Sounds to me like he took L's because you don't leave a winner. So cost his kids education, retirement, and marriage. Man, that's bonkers.
At that point, dude, just go get money from the mob so when you lose, they kill you.
Bro, like seriously.
So in a different study, I guess they have different terms for different types of divorces.
We're calling it studies now? Ooh.
But they have what they call a high conflict divorce rate. People who were admitted so the divorce rate in this country is 53.5%. Admitted gamblers 53.5% is the number of divorces that are a high conflict divorce out of all the divorces. So more than half are high conflict divorces, meaning there's a battle between
it's
custody, funds, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That number jumps to 71.5% when it is an admitted gambler who's in the divorce proceeding.
This is actually legit sad, and this is why people didn't want to legalize gambling.
So I'm confused though. If you say you're an admitted gambler.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all admitted gamblers, but I don't.
Every time you get behind the wheel,
I mean, it doesn't. No, Eric, don't do that. Don't do that. Life is a gamble. That's not what we mean.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to be incorporated.
No, don't just say. You always just say. I'm just saying. I was that close to being right.
Hey, if I would have said something else, I would have been right, dude.
That's a gamble you took, right? You're a gambler. Fuck me, Eric. Well, my point's done. Moving on.
My last point, we'll move into pop culture pickup because we're already running a little long, is Eric, why the fuck was this not the what the fuck headline?
I don't know. I saw it like in a clip, so I went to go do my own independent research on it, and then it popped in my head when we were here talking about it. So I was like, let me pull that shit up from my history.
Yep, I shouldn't have asked. Let's go ahead and get to PCP.
Yep. That answer made me more angry.
God, can't do nothing.
Eric's like, I saw it during the week and then just remembered it now.
Bro,
good thing I don't have a gambling podcast that I produce.
We've talked about, Jermaine and I have talked about this and just we've exhausted it. I have a terrible memory, dude. Like I've just come to the conclusion that I will never have Alzheimer's or dementia because I'm already afflicted by it. I live with it. I've been living with it since I was 17 years old.
My man has
early onset, dude.
My man barely remembers the white.
No, bro. Nah, I'm proud of myself, dude. That's 2 weeks in a row where I don't bust through the toilet paper, dude. I'm getting better.
We're not engaging that.
What, dude?
Let's get into the PCP. We're half hour in. We ain't even done the PCP yet, boys.
Nicholas, you're first.
We're ready, rare to go. Today's topic: top 5 Christmas gifts you ever got. Orders Nick, myself, and Eric. Let's go ahead and kick it off.
So, 1995, Christmas 1995. Actually, 1996. Excuse me. I was 5 years old. We got a PS1. That's my first gift. My dad told me that we weren't getting a PS1, and then produced a PS1 on Christmas Day.
Man, that's that's fire. But parents always do that. A bunch of shysters.
Yeah.
Let me get I'll do PS2 with Spy Hunter the year the PS2 came out.
PS2?
Yeah.
So it was Christmas 1993, and my mom got me a new dad. It was legendary. And then following that, I will say in 2007 was my car.
By the way, we don't need to say dates. I just remember getting the PS1 in 1996. I don't have dates for any of this other shit.
I was like, whoa, we're doing dates?
No,
I barely remembered what I got for Christmas.
Those are the two biggest ones, and coincidentally, I remember that. Actually, it was 2006 for the car. My bad.
My fourth one, Jermaine, or my fifth one is going to come to me, I hope, in the process of this.
I'm going Game Boy SP. It was the flip Game Boy.
That's a good one.
Fire.
Oh,
I remember my brother got his taken away in school because he would put it in his pocket because it fit. And he got it taken away for the year.
Damn.
For the year, bro. I was like, yo.
Damn.
And so here it was. Either you tell your parents and the parents come get it, or you get it at the end of the year. And my brother said, he said the year is negligible.
He said that ass whooping ain't worth it. He said, I'll wait.
Got enough video game systems in my life. I don't need this Game Boy.
I'll forget about it. Then it'll be a nice little Christmas present to myself.
So me and my brother and my little brother also had Game Boy SP, so we just used ours. Oh man, that's so funny. Anyways, go ahead, Dick.
So I don't remember what year it was because I didn't write down years, but we got a German Shepherd puppy for Christmas one year. Then my 160-pound Mastiff got so excited, she stepped on said 8-week-old German Shepherd puppy, shattering her foot on Christmas Day.
Damn.
And how do you not remember that year?
I don't remember what year it was. I remember it was around the turn of the century.
It feels like you should know that year because that is a big event. What's your next one?
I'm gonna go with one of the games that I specifically
the
hospital
foot.
I'm gonna go with Star Wars Battlefront. That I remember getting that game, and I don't think I came out of my room until the new year.
Battlefronts on Xbox or whatever you were playing it on back in the day was
fire.
Amazing.
Fire.
Oh my God. What a great freaking game, dude. It's just big battles, but you're playing as Star Wars characters, Eric.
That sounds dope.
And it's It's first person shooter like multiplayer.
We've talked about downloading that and running it back, but just time gets away.
The new ones.
The new ones
don't.
suck.
The new ones don't.
And it's EA, so EA fucking wants you to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you should pay for this. All right, last game system on my list. I'm going Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis was always in my room as a kid. It was fire.
Dope. With my third pick, it's two separate times that my big brother, we won't say his name, so just in case, but my big brother bought me, because I was obsessed with her, my first Playboy, which had Tara Reid on it. He also bought me the Playboy that Kim Kardashian was on the cover of, but I'm going to stick with the Tara Reid Playboy issue because I was in love with her, and he was the big homie for getting me that.
Let's do a little Google image search here just on my own.
Oh, Tara Reid. Honestly, I never understood the hype on Tara Reid. I'm not saying she's ugly.
American Pie and The Voice, dude. And she was just the slutty girl in American Pie. So it was like, I'm in love. And then after that, I will say my grandpa Sam, when I was 13 years old, bought me my first shotgun.
Bought you for a shotgun? Like a beer?
No, like...
Come on, dog. This is America.
I understand.
I'm going X-Men water play set. Ship floated on the water. It was so sick, bro. Bath time leveled up.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, bath. Okay. The stuff float. Okay. I was like, dude, it must be nice going like having Christmas in warm weather spots. You weren't getting that shit in Denver, Colorado. You couldn't play with that shit until like August in Denver.
No, I use that shit in the bathtub, bro. Had epic fights.
So I'm going to say the computer game Doom 2. I remember getting the computer game Doom 2.
But not being able to play it.
Doom?
Jermaine Doom. Doom. Jermaine knows this story because he's heard me tell this story as a representative of my childhood trauma. So I got Doom 2. Doom 2 in 1999, I believe. Hold on. Let me look up a historical event. Let me look up a historical event. Yes, 1999. Christmas of 1999.
When we were still downloading the internet from CD-ROMs.
Right. I received Doom 2 as a Christmas. Eric, April 1999. It was the event I'm looking up, by the way. So I got Doom 2 as a Christmas present. I opened it in front of my parents and grandparents, and then instantly they go, "We got you this because you wanted it," and then they took it away from me on Christmas Day because Dylan Harris and Eric Klebold, the Combine shooters, in April of that year, my house was 6 miles away from Combine High School. Apparently, they had played Doom in their basement as they plotted to commit the mass murder of students at Combine High School. And therefore, me as an 8-year-old in 1999, I would therefore have gone down the same path if I would have played Doom 2. So Doom 2 was both given as an amazing Christmas present and then sadly taken away.
That seems so fucked up.
It's just German. It's just German parents, right?
Why would they get it in the first place? Just get me socks then. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it in the first. Okay, your logic is sound from the perspective of, all right, maybe we don't understand video games. It makes people violent. Blah blah blah. Give me a fucking sweater. Why'd you still buy the video game?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand. Years later, when we were cleaning out my dad's house, I found it in his desk drawer. I was like, "Have you had this game the whole time? Did you ever realize that maybe I wasn't a school shooter and maybe I could play it a little bit? Or was it always in your head that I downloaded that game and I was like,
directly results in people becoming school shooters.
I was like, I gotta go somewhere.
We can track it. Every school shooter in history has played Doom 2.
That's like saying every serial killer had Catcher in the Rye on their bookcase. It's like, it's a famous book.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, final pick. If this is stealing, I'm sorry, but I don't have anything left. I got a Nintendo DS my freshman year of high school, but I remember my parents said they couldn't find any games for the Nintendo DS. So for like 2 weeks, because they were like, we couldn't find any games, we'll take you shopping. So for 2 weeks, I had to play the demo version of Metroid, which only lets you play one level.
Yeah. You were the GOAT at that one level.
This is just Eric's laughing because this is mainly just, hey, here's top 5 Nick's childhood trauma moments centered around Christmas.
Now you know why my guy doesn't like Christmas.
Aliens ever invade Earth? I'm not calling LeBron. I'm calling Nick to play level 1.
Nah, get me on their spaceship, dude. I'm a Metroid Prime. That roll, ball, laser.
Oh God,
dude! 2 weeks to wait to get a game is not that big a deal.
Tragic,
Childhood trauma.
Tragic.
How
you were abused, dude? We should report your parents.
How just dramatic of you, dude. So
we should report my father. By the way, he's gonna come. We need to have him on the podcast so he can refute these claims.
Metallic Power Rangers, dog.
Oh yeah.
You remember the Power Rangers movie?
Oh, dude, that's a good one.
When
would jog my memory.
So the Power Rangers movie with that. So first of all, Power Rangers till I die, bro. Like if you ain't into kung fu, robot wielding teenagers taking on giant monsters, I don't know what the fuck we're doing being friends, because that is like right up my alley of all things amazing. But so the Power Rangers movie, shout out R.I.P. Jason David Frank. They get powered up. And that's when they get their ninja suits, right? And then they morph into their Power Ranger suits, and their Power Ranger suits are all shiny in the movie, just to get people to buy stuff. They got me all those Power Rangers, and their heads flipped.
100%.
You squeeze their legs together, and their heads would flip. So you could have them without the helmet or with the helmet. They were amazing, best things ever.
I don't think I ever got a chance to play with those.
Do you guys remember Beetleborgs?
Bro, yes, absolutely.
That you just jogged my memory. I had the blue Beetleborg that I got one Christmas. Yo, shout out grandparents. That makes the list probably.
Beetleborgs was sick,
dude,
because the artist would draw the comic book, and then the monsters would come to life to fight the Beetleborgs. And they found their powers by going to an abandoned house with a Ronald McDonald and Joker hybrid, right? It was as if Joker and Ronald McDonald combined and looked like Jay Leno played the character. It was amazing. What an amazing show. And then, do you remember Mystic Knights of Tiranogue?
Mm-mm.
Bro, that's a deep cut. It's a real deep cut. And I guess it didn't really last very long, so I'm not surprised that people don't know about it. But me and my little brother love that show. And just recently I saw like a clip of it on Instagram, and I sent it to him, and I was just like, dog. I remember this show being groundbreaking, and I just saw the clip and I was like, holy crap. This was legit. This was legit terrible, my guy. It was legit terrible, to the point where I want to buy the whole series just so I can own how terrible that show is.
What had one season?
It had one season. Yeah. And for some reason, as a kid, I thought it was epic. So there was like every night had like a power. It was like fire, earth, wind, water. Just looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, that show was actually pretty much trash.
So from Wikipedia, a second season entitled Mystic Knights Battle Thunder was planned, but later canceled so that more money could be put toward Power Rangers Lost Galaxy and the English dub version of Digimon Digital Monsters. Fire show, by the way.
Excellent choices all around.
Yeah,
I will say, getting rid of that for those, excellent choices all around. Because I look at this thing now and I'm like, yeah, we did not need a second season. No. It was terrible. Give us your last pick, Eric.
An autographed Terrell Owens jersey, which is now ash, because I have a short temper when it comes to Philly. So probably one of my favorite gifts of all time, which I ended up burning like 2 years later. So tragic. But going back to
my God.
going back to, I have a funny story about Columbine. So,
oh yeah, great.
No.
Canceled already.
No.
Double down with a funny
It's not what you
story
guys think.
on Columbine.
It's not what you guys think. So, Nick, and now that you're working from home remotely, you're gonna be put in a lot of situations where you have to introduce yourself to new people all the time in Zoom meetings. And all these Gen Z kids are finally starting to come into the workforce. So we had a training like maybe 2 months ago. Everybody's introducing themselves, and the girl goes, "You guys introduce yourself and say where you're from." And she goes, "You guys might have not heard about it, but I'm from this little city outside of Denver called Columbine." Everybody's face who was above the age of 20 was like, "We know what fucking Columbine is." It's like
and by the way, it's just Denver.
It's just
you're
Denver.
From you're from like a it's not even a town. It's like an area.
But dude, just hearing her say, not a lot of people have heard about it. I'm from a place called Columbine. Everybody's face was like, "No, we've heard of it."
Yeah,
it shaped our entire high school.
How old was she?
She was born in 2000. I think she was born in 2007, 2006.
Oh, so this was well after the shooting, man.
Yeah, I mean, but for us, like it was on the news for like a week straight. You know,
it was September 11th before September 11th.
It was
until it got Trump 2 years later.
It was a huge story.
It was huge.
Everyone knew about
it. It went McVeigh, Columbine, 9/11.
All right, dude, but relax. You can't be the homie Shay and try to duck these questions. What the hell happened to this TO jersey?
Yeah.
All right.
You can't just like say the gift and then not say the story. We've all said stories for each of these things.
All right. So he played for Philly. I got the jersey. You guys know famously he went to Dallas after. Do you guys remember the game against Philly where he torched us for like 2 touchdowns and he did the popcorn thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I burned my jersey after that game. I took it off the wall in its frame that it was in.
It was on the wall in a. I said, Eric, to avoid that. I was gonna say, Eric, to avoid that, you should have gotten it framed.
No, it was on the wall. It was on the wall in a frame.
How did
I took it off the wall?
How does? Okay, I actually have a legitimate question because I've wondered this as a sports fan with anger.
Yeah,
I have never touched any of my sports stuff because I know it'll be a stupid decision.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
How does your anger last long enough for you to get the thing off the wall? Get it out of the frame. You probably didn't break glass.
No, I put the pins off.
Took it out.
Yeah, I took it out.
Took it somewhere to light it on fire.
The backyard.
How does your anger last that long?
Rage, dude. It was absolute rage. I just blacked out. And it was, I mean, from the time that he did that celebration to the time the jersey was on fire, because I had to get the matches, I had to get the lighter fluids, I had to get it off the wall. It was probably like 4 or 5 minutes.
You had to go get all of the things. Like, that's the thing we're talking about. Like, that's like hopping in the whip and driving, a couple hours to whoop someo's ass.
Yeah, it's like
after the second podcast you finish, like you ain't fucking fighting no more.
How do you
You're
not
a good man? The breeze felt good. Like the windows have been down. Like,
how do you not see an Arby's and be like, you know what? I'll get a Jamocha shake instead.
What trips me out too about this whole situation is my dad watched me do all of this. And at no point was he like, "You're gonna regret this."
If I know anything about Papa Wash, that's character building. That's what Benny lumped that into.
I'm on his side on this.
You know what your dad was thinking? Your dad was probably thinking, "Oh, he'll stop." He had to get it off the wall. He had to unclip. By the way, those aren't easy. If you guys have out there in the roomies, if you guys have framed jerseys, you know that they're not held on by like one thing. You gotta pry up each little
after the seventh one annoyed me. I would have just been like, fuck this, I'm not dealing with it. I would have found something else to tear up. Like, I would, if I was still that angry, because like I am not sitting there with the patience to get that off the wall if I'm angry. Right? That's why the anger is instantaneous. It is anger hits, it's blow up. It would have made more sense if you broke the glass on the frame, because it would have been instantaneous. It would have been rage, blow up, gone. Yours was rage. You fucking methodically calculated like a psychopath where the lighter fluid, where the matches are. You took that bitch out of a frame. Yeah, walked down from the second floor multiple times, I'm guessing, during this whole excursion.
It was upstairs and downstairs.
Because you were so angry you forgot something, I'm sure.
Finally made it to the outside. You asked your dad if you were good to light a fire, probably because you were probably 14. You're not just lighting fires unsupervised. And so there was so much time for the rage to have subsided.
I mean, I didn't say I don't regret it. It was the only autographed item I had from any of my favorite players growing up. So yeah, of course, I don't regret it. I mean, I regretted it for a long time, but it is what it is, dude. I have my Brian Dawkins and my Brian Westbrook jerseys, which will never be burned, no matter what they do. So,
okay, so like Jermaine and I are the type of angry when like something happens, controller's gone, right? To the shadow realm. Right,
I've never broken a controller.
This is umbrella, right? You
Okay.
punch a wall, you get angry, like Jermaine said. Maybe you punch a glass. That's just like you just reach out. Whatever's around you, watch out.
Yeah.
But as soon as you do that, like every controller I've broken the controller and then been like, why the fuck did I do that? It's just like you spent the psychopathic time to like premeditated murder.
That's the scary thing. My God,
you were like. It happened, and you were like, you didn't just get up. You were like,
how am I going to do this?
I need
you. My guy went into plan. Yeah, planning mode.
You live, you learn, dude.
That's so wild, though. First of all, whatever.
Yeah.
It's in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big a thing. But I'm just like, from like a pure rage standpoint, I don't think I've ever been that angry.
You'd almost think I wasn't an Eagles fan because I've burned that Terrell Owens jersey, and the one time I had the opportunity to meet Donovan McNabb, I couldn't think of anything nice to say to him. I served him at my bar, lifelong Eagles fan, and I couldn't say anything fucking like I was just shook. I was just sitting there, and he was talking to me like a normal human, and I couldn't fucking respond to him.
Eric, do not beat yourself up. As a lifelong Eagle fan, you should have nothing good to say to Donovan McNabb.
Dude, he was.
This is a guy who took you guys to the Super Bowl, and then you called him the N-word next year. It is in your Philly blood to not like Donovan McNabb.
I guess
he also, for the record,
solidify that
he
you're
couldn't
an Eagles
say
fan.
anything to Donovan McNabb.
Well, because he didn't want to call him the N-word in his restaurant.
Because
that's not good business.
Honestly, the only thing I would have said was like, you couldn't get the job done, dude. You're not the greatest Eagle of all time. Because he went on the radio and said he was the greatest Eagle of all time, which he's not. But
what?
Yeah.
How is he not?
Because he's not. That's how.
Is Jalen Hurts the greatest Eagle of all time?
Honestly, if we're just thinking about that, why are we getting it? But it's Reggie White. He's Reggie White or Brian Dawkins.
But Reggie White wasn't. Dude,
7 years. 7 years is enough for him to be an Eagle for
so
life.
Crazy, dude. It's so crazy the amount of hate Donovan McNabb gets.
He's not
like in Philly, he gets so much hate, and it's crazy.
That's what I'm saying, Eric. Don't get down on yourself. Don't. That's you are a model Philadelphia citizen.
There has to be more to the story. Like they can't have just turned on him for what, losing?
No, they turned on him for losing. They were booing Jalen Hurts week 2 against the Vikings.
They threw snowballs at Santa.
Took us to a Super Bowl last year. It took 2 weeks for them to start booing him. Philly's rough, man.
Yeah, this is why I hate those fans, man.
They're didn't the NFL players vote them as the most annoying fans?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I've been saying that for the last few years. I think I agree. I don't know how I never knew this, but let's go ahead and get into the NFL. So we're already running a little long. So let's go ahead and get into the key takeaways from NFL Week 15. At the time of recording this, we don't know the results of the Eagles-Seahawks matchup. So we're gonna abstain from that. But for everything else has been played. So go ahead, Nick.
So CMC and Raheem Mostert both rushed for touchdowns both scored touchdowns this week. A combined 5, actually. That put both of them at 20 touchdowns each. This is just the 7th time in NFL history that multiple players have scored 20-plus touchdowns in a season. Ironically, the last time, 2021, when Austin Eckler and Jonathan Taylor did it. Funny enough, there has never been a player. There has never been 2 players. I guess there has never been a player who scored 20 touchdowns and then did it again, if that makes sense.
Like ever in their career?
Multiple players scoring 20 touchdowns. No player has ever repeated on this list. Which I thought was
CMC's never had 20 touchdowns before.
CMC has had 20. That's what I'm trying to say. If CMC had 20 touchdowns, there's never been a year that he has. So like Priest Holmes, right? Priest Holmes may have had another 20 touchdown season, but he never had it with another player, if that makes sense.
So you're saying, I'm not sure if I get what you're saying. So CMC has had 20 touchdowns before, but he's never done it at the same time that another player has had 20 touchdowns.
Right. So 1965, Gale Sayers, Jim Brown had 20 touchdowns. Jim Brown never had 20 touchdowns with another person. Jim Brown was never part of multiple 20 scorers again in a season.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
So 1975, Chuck Foreman and O.J. Simpson. 1983, Eric Dickerson, John Riggins. 2003, Amon Green, Priest Holmes. 2005 actually had 3, Sean Alexander, Larry Johnson, and LT. 2021, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, and this year, CMC and Raheem Mostert.
It's freaking crazy that we don't want to pay running backs.
Oh, because then they do, and they reset the market, and then they're valued, like, you know who I'm talking about. Boy over in Carolina. Getting what?
He's been hurt all year. He's only getting like $6 million or something like that.
I thought it was like $8 million.
What?
No.
You're blaming Miles Sanders for the running back crisis? Blame Le'Veon Bell.
No, Miles Sanders has like $6 million a year. I think they're all right there.
Got the bag and then didn't do shit with it, dude.
The running back market is Le'Veon Bell's fault. Le'Veon Bell demanded all this money, then was a baby and sat out, and then came back saying he was the best running back in the league, and then shit the bed.
Yeah. It's just crazy. All those dudes scored 20 touchdowns. I didn't hear any wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right? Those were all running backs.
Yeah.
I'm like, the whole point is to score, right? And we're over here saying, no, we don't pay it. We don't pay it.
No, you don't.
I'm not saying every running back has to get paid, but the truly special ones, like the Todd Gurley should have got paid. Jonathan Taylor should get paid. CMC should get paid. Right? Those guys should get paid. I'm not saying like who give me an example.
So for this situation though, 19 career touchdowns in 8 seasons, and then now he has 20 with the Dolphins this year. So was Mostert
was injuries. He had multiple like 3 or 4 season-ending injuries. Like that guy. If you go look at his game log, he's 31, so he's been in the league for a minute. But like total games played, like if you divided it by 16 or if you divide it by 17 now, he's probably only played like 5 seasons. Which is kind of crazy. Because remember, he kept getting cut, and then he finally hit, and he tore a meniscus or like tore an ACL. Or Raheem Mostert was every year. There's so many years, right, from playing fantasy that Raheem Mostert was supposed to be like, this is his year. And then he would show it for 1 to 2 games, and you're like, this dude, elite.
5.5 seasons worth of games. 89 games that he's played out of a potential 9 times 16, 144.
Yeah,
so he's almost played half the games he was supposed to play. Crazy.
Yeah, and that's my fear. That's why it's so funny that A-Chain is backing up Mostert, because that's kind of my fear with A-Chain or A-Chan, A-Chan. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. I don't want anyone to get hurt, because if he doesn't get hurt, I think he's going to be special for a while. Then, he's going to be a menace to the league. But if he could also play 89 games of 142, you know what I mean? Like that could also be him, and it's terrifying. But all right, so that's the first 20 touchdown takeaway. What's your other one, Nick?
If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get rid of Baker Mayfield, they are doing their franchise a disservice for the next 3 to 5 years.
I said it the other day in the Discord.
And I completely agree with you. He is their franchise quarterback, and they are not treating him like it.
What do you mean?
Like the league is not like the league is. I feel like people around the league are saying Baker Mayfield ?
Oh, I mean, it's fair though. It is fair though, because we've seen this Baker Mayfield before in Cleveland, and then the very next year, in one offseason, he became Baker Mayfield ? Right?
He's not recording
fair.
State Farm commercials anymore though.
So that one thing I will say is, and I think someone might have mentioned this on one of the halftime shows. He's matured. Right? Like, we're not seeing Baker Mayfield run around and grabbing his nuts at everyone, and he's still got that bravado, right? Still talking shit probably, but it's not as look at me anymore, right? And he's kind of moved into like being the head of the snake, vice like this, this piece that can knock the pyramid out of whack, for example. Because he just posted the highest quarterback rating ever at Lambeau Field.
He's become this, what people hate. People hate this word. He's become, because everybody wants to be a Patrick Mahomes. He's become a game manager. He's realized that when he makes mistakes as a quarterback, he loses games. That's what happens when quarterbacks make mistakes. They lose games. But quarterbacks that don't make mistakes and rely on their defense and do the things they need to do, Brock Purdy, win football games. But it seems like it's like a blacklist to be called a game manager. You're a game manager.
That is true. They do treat it like it's like some nasty thing. Look, the only thing that when someone calls you a game manager,
Baker Mayfield 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
The only thing that's fantastic. The only thing that they're actually saying is, if everything goes wrong, you might not have the ability to go out and just win that ball game regardless, right? And at any given time in the NFL, there's only like 6 quarterbacks who can do that, right? And that's what people need to understand.
3.
So
no, it's 6 right now.
About in reference to the game manager thing, I'm just gonna go back to the last few Super Bowls here. Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Nick Foles, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. Until we get to Joe Flacco and Eli Manning in 47 and 46, I feel like that list, excluding Nick Foles, because he was, we all know that situation. Those guys are all, they're not game managers. They win games. Like you know what I mean? Like that's the guy who can go out and win you a game with what he does.
For sure.
So I think a game manager gets you so far. And until we get Joe Flacco and Eli Manning, like all the Super Bowl champion quarterbacks are guys that can win you a game, not game managers. And I think that's what causes that. You can be a game manager, be great. The team loves you, fans love you, but to get over that hump, you got to be a game winner, I feel like. And in special situations, a game manager can win a game. Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, Eli Manning. But they do miraculous shit when they are in that Super Bowl.
We've seen Baker Mayfield do it as well, right? Like we've seen people like these quarterbacks go out and win the games. Like Kirk Cousins, deck stacked against him, beat San Francisco this year, right?
Yeah.
And that dude gets crushed all the time because Kirk Cousins is the perfect example of this, right? Mm-hmm. He'll go out there and play a fantastic football game. He'll do 303, and those are elite numbers. But the rest of the team,
20.
I mean, you can lose by 20 in those circumstances. Yeah, and a lot of it comes, after they're down. But what I was trying to say with Kirk Cousins is like, but also, hey, the defense played well that game. Special teams didn't make a mistake. Justin Jefferson doesn't fumble out the back of the end zone, right? Alexander Madison didn't fumble, right? So if Kirk Cousins has those situations, Kirk Cousins goes out and wins ball games. You're going to go look at Kirk Cousins, and he's won a lot of fucking football games, right?
And also for every Patrick Mahomes, for every Tua, for every Jalen Hurts, you have like a Cam Newton. You have a Jameis Winston. You have a guy that at the beginning of that football game, if he's a starting quarterback, you have no idea what's going to happen. They're not game managers, so they don't have that nasty little tag on it. But I guarantee you, Eric, I would take a Brock Purdy or an Alex Smith or a Jeff Garcia over some of the games that I got from Cam Newton.
No, I respect, and I, by no means am I talking shit about game managers. I think it's a fucking talent and a skill, like to not turn the ball over, make the right throw when you're supposed to make it. Like that's a fucking great skill to have as a quarterback. I just feel like the negative connotation that comes along with it is that they haven't won that many Super Bowls. But I agree with you guys completely. Like I'll take a game manager. I'll take a guy who doesn't lose me a game 100%.
Like
the reason the Eagles have the losses they have this year is because Jalen had 3 or more turnovers.
Yeah. Also, Matt Stafford's Rams team stacked.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's Patriots team stacked.
Yeah.
Like Nick Foles' Eagles team stacked. Joe Flacco's Ravens team
led by a game manager.
Right.
That's ultimate game manager.
So those Super Bowl winners also played on fantastic teams. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dude, it's truly a team sport.
Like,
you cannot win it on one side of the ball.
Yeah, maybe the game manager didn't get him there, but also did the game manager have the 07 Patriots or the 07 Giants? Well, actually, Eli did have the 07 Giants. Look what happened. Game managers could win. Eli Manning, and no disrespect to that man, I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he will be a Hall of Famer.
Because of his name?
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Eli Manning, fantastic. Eli Manning's not winning a ball game.
Eli Manning struggled to win regular season ball games.
He's
50 over his career.
He's literally 500. Like his record is dead even. Right?
Get that man in a playoff game though.
Yo, bro.
That's Rico, man.
If Eli Manning wins one playoff game, he doesn't lose.
You're done.
He doesn't lose.
You're done.
Eli Manning did not win another playoff game besides those 2 runs that he had.
Eli Manning in his 2 Super Bowl appearances. 551 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That's 2 games too.
He's a game manager. That's all. I'm not, and that I don't understand why that's a negative term. I fucking wish Derek Carr was a game manager.
Jameis Winston.
I wish Jameis Winston was a game manager. Those guys, it's a literal dice roll on what you're gonna get week in and week out.
Did you hear the Jameis Winston story this week?
With the briefcase?
How he put him in the team with the briefcase. Did you hear this, Eric?
Yes. It's unbelievable, dude.
So for those of you who don't know, Jameis Winston got a briefcase to the locker room and opened it up, and there was nothing inside it. And to the team, Jameis Winston goes, "That's what's standing between us and greatness. Nothing."
I fucking love it, dude. I honestly I never don't want Jameis Winston to be my backup quarterback. Like I want him to be the backup forever. He is so fun to root for. He is so fun to root for because it is literally a fucking gigantic question mark of will he be fantastic? Will he be great? Or will he shit the bed epically, right? If he balls out, it is in epic fashion.
Who did I say? I said this week
fails. It's in epic fashion.
30-30.
He does everything to the spectacular degree. So I will always be a Jameis Winston truther. I look, anytime he gets into a game, it is exciting. At the very least, if you're tanking, putting Jameis Winston at your quarterback and you're tanking, it is going to be exciting week in and week out.
So I have a take before I'll give up the talking stick here. Is Gardner Minshew this generation's Rex Grossman?
No, he's Jeff Garcia.
Ooh.
He succeeded every place he's been good every place he's gone. He's been good every place he's gone. Jacksonville, no one expected that fucking year from Jacksonville where he was putting up those numbers. In Indianapolis, nobody thought the Colts were going to be a playoff team.
So is Jameis Winston this generation's Rex Grossman?
Jameis Winston is Ryan Fitzmagic for this generation.
Is he the black Brett Favre?
Jameis Winston's the black Ryan Fitzpatrick. He can have 3 legendary games, just dominate the month of September, and then get benched before October. Even. You know what I mean? Like,
oh Jesus!
So that's Jameis Winston's career arc. Maybe I'm typecasting. We'll find someone who is this generation's Rex Grossman. Nick Foles is closer to Rex Grossman than anything. Because Rex Grossman played great for that one stretch, made it to a Super Bowl. The rest of it was just like, what? Who the fuck is this guy? How did he get to the Super Bowl? And Nick Foles is the same fucking way. Nick Foles, He had that one legendary year with Chip Kelly, right, where they went like 14-2. They were like, what was the record? 14-2.
No, it was
12-4.
I believe it was 12-4 that year, but that's when he had the 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Bro, Nick Foles was like, who is this man? It was error proof. Yeah. And then Nick Foles gets a starting gig somewhere else, and you're like, who is this man? So he gets benched. I think Nick Foles is closer to Rex Grossman than anything. Also, this is a fantastic game. We should add this. We'll allow the executive producers to run it, but the executive producers should pick someone from our past and be like, who's this generation's Mike Allstott?
Christian McCaffrey?
No, dude, Mike Allstott is a touchdown vulture. I'll tell you who this generation's
Kyle Jeselnik.
So, like, Gus Edwards is Mike Allstott. So, and here's the order it went in. It went Mike Allstott, it went LeGarrette Blount, and then it went Gus Edwards. You remember LeGarrette Blount?
LeGarrette Blount was frustrating.
It was 20 yards and 3 touchdowns. You're like, my guy, you couldn't do nothing else with these carries? Oh, dude, LeGarrette Blount. No, but I always love those games because you're pulling deep cut players, right? Like you're pulling deep cut players.
Who was that tandem in Dallas?
Felix Jones and
the other homie just got all
Darren McFadden.
I thought it was Barber.
Oh, Marion Barber, RIP. Marion Barber and Felix. Dude, that Dallas backfield when Felix Jones was the B option, it was always fun.
Marion Barber did die. Oh, jeez.
When did he die?
Last year, 2022.
Oh, shit.
Fellas, y'all need to start remembering.
He had a heat stroke?
We talked about this.
Fuck? Eric,
we talked about
this.
Dude.
That could be you. Go walk. Go walk outside. That could be you.
Can't get a heat stroke if you're not in the heat, son.
I don't want, for the Room 303 Olympics, I don't want you to die of a heat stroke.
All right, so all right, those are the takeaways from Nick. Before we get derailed, we're already running long. Eric, what are your takeaways for the week?
This is what the people want, dude. They want us in their ear as long as possible. So my 2 takes.
Yo, why did that sound so sexual?
Because it was sexual. Anyway,
you did like a little shoulder shrug.
Yeah, you want me in the ear, girl? No, I'm just kidding.
Come on. The whisper song comes on.
First take. I think this is the worst situation in football. I'm asking you guys. The Chargers have the worst situation in football. The 2024 projected salary cap is $240 million. They have 148.8, which is 61% of their cap tied up in 5 players: Khalil Mack, Bosa, Keenan Allen, Derwin James, and Herbert. Mack, 32 years old, Bosa, 28 years old, Allen, 31 years old, James, 27 years old, Herbert, 25 years old. Their defensive ranking this year, 29. Their offensive ranking, 17. They just fired their coach. The reason I think they have the worst situation in football is because unless it truly is just Staley's system, but I mean, we've seen this with the Chargers for 2+ decades, where they could be all the talent in the world, but they don't win. All that money's tied up in old players. I just think it's a piss poor situation. I don't think, people are linking Ben Johnson to them. People are linking the offensive coordinator from fucking who was it?
Ben Slovic from the Texans.
Oh, was it him? Yeah, I think it was him. But they're linking a bunch of these hot newness OCs to them. And honestly, I don't know if I'd take the job. I'm looking at the numbers.
You're
I'm looking
crazy
at the cap
if
numbers.
You wouldn't take that job.
Justin Herbert might just be Rex Grossman 2.0.
No,
like I just think it's a terrible situation, and I wouldn't want to coach that.
You think that's the worst?
Yeah, no, false.
You think that's the worst head coach vacancy right now?
I think it's one of the worst situations in the NFL. Yes, I genuinely do.
I think that could be corrected in 1 year, and you could still have Bosa, Mack, Allen, and
you think it'd be corrected in 1 year?
Absolutely, yeah.
Or what?
61% of their cap is tied in 5 players.
Yeah.
That could be corrected in 1 year. Yeah.
Here's the thing, Eric. Also, organizations hate to do this, but if you come in as a young GM, blow it up, right? If you blow it up and you get good value for those guys, and yeah, you might eat some salary cap, but you're not going to be eating 61% of it. Blow it up and be very honest with your fan base to just say, hey, look, it's going to be 3 years before we're good again, but I'm going to get young players. I'm going to save money. We're going to bring in a new coach and we're going to let them run it, right? Or you stick with the players you have, you try to match a coach to their needs.
So just looking at, the whole NFL. And Nick, I mean no disrespect. Well, we're going to put Carolina in there as a bad situation.
The worst.
Right? We're going to put...
Carolina has a lot of cap space. I don't know if it's the worst.
Titans seem to be all right. The Jags seem to be on the up and up. The Texans are on the up and up. Like, what other teams besides Carolina and like that are in a piss poor situation? We just don't see anything. Like, for at least the next 2 years, there's no hope.
There's one glaring choice.
I'm spacing out.
It's the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, I guess, dude.
The New Orleans Saints haven't hit on a draft pick since 2017, since we had that epic draft class, right? Every position where we're talented at is old. Alvin Kamara, 28-year-old running back. Cam Jordan, 32-year-old defensive end. Ryan Ramczyk, 30-year-old right tackle. Left tackle, we drafted a first-round left tackle, and we refused to play him. Like, we're out. We don't even want to play him at any position. We can't get him on the field. Defensive end Peyton Turner, we drafted in the first round. He's played like 18 games for us. Marcus Davenport, another first-round pick that we traded an extra first-round pick to come on and get, plays for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, 31-year-old, can't stay healthy. Our red zone threat right now, our red zone option is Jimmy Graham. Would you guys like to tell me how old Jimmy Graham is?
35.
35-year-old Jimmy
Hell yeah.
Graham. Like, Kendre Miller, backup running back, can't see the field. Like, our bright spots are undrafted rookies, right?
And Jameis Winston.
Rashid Shaheed, undrafted. A.T. Perry, undrafted. Derek Carr, I mean, he just threw for 3 touchdowns, but if you go look at his game log, the number of 3 touchdown games in his career is unbelievable how little he has. The New Orleans Saints, on top of that, are also way over the cap. We've every year, to get under the cap to sign players to stay competitive, we restructure guys' deals and move it to the back end with voided years. Cam Jordan is now owed like $60 million the next 2 seasons, and there's almost no out. Alvin Kamara is owed $16 million plus the next 2 seasons. There's no out. Like, if these guys get old, the fucked. Demario Davis, 32-year-old linebacker. Tyrann Mathieu, 34-year-old safety. Mm-hmm. Marcus May, 28, 29, had a major injury in his career. Like, the New Orleans Saints is the fucking drizzling shits. And the reason why I think the Chargers is a better situation is you have Justin Herbert. If you are a good offensive coordinator with Justin Herbert, you will at least be competitive. You don't have Derek.
We're not. The chances are. I mean, he's not. Look, I understand
Justin Herbert's still good.
I understand systems are bad and stuff, and you can't put everything on the quarterback. But dude, you've had a pretty fucking A1 day one team, and you've managed one playoff.
They also have a ton of drops. The defense has never been able to run the football. Like, Justin Herbert's. Yeah, sorry. I said the defense has never been able to run the football. That would be impressive
if your defense could run the football.
Shit. Yo, and like I said, I have been saying that it's time to start holding Justin Herbert accountable. Sure. But Justin Herbert is more likely to have a stretch like Dak Prescott than to be Derek Carr.
I feel that. Well, I mean, my whole thing, I'm just tired of the Chargers. I'm sick and tired of
I'm with you on that.
I'm sick and tired of believing in them. I didn't expect you to, your achy breaky heart to go on this Saints tangent, but it makes sense. Everything you said makes sense, and we can put them in the conversation. I just personally, I'm fucking so done with San Diego, and I just don't think it's a good situation. But hey, you guys are right. The NFL, it's a year-to-year league, and they can turn it around.
Eric, I got news for you. The Chargers are done with San Diego as well.
Sorry.
That's how upset he is with them. He's like, fuck you. You're still San Diego. No, honestly, what you're saying is I totally understand. But I would love to come into a team as a head coach with Keenan Allen, with Joey Bosa, with Khalil Mack. I would love to come into that. I will ride that out, especially with the top 10 pick, and Justin Herbert is coming back. I would much rather have that situation than other situations. Like, I would rather have that quarterback situation in that cap situation than would you rather be the Arizona head coach?
No, because he's a bitch and he left Philly.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm just trying to think of another team that
also let's just consider that it's just the Chargers. They're a cursed franchise.
I think that's what honestly, Eric even said it. It's like for 20 years. For 20 years, they've been some of the most talented football teams. You just can't get
number one offense, number one defense, lose because of special teams.
Fucking ridiculous.
No playoffs.
Yeah, I do. And so that I agree with
all they had to do was get a tie.
This is the Bambino.
All they had to do was get a tie to make the playoffs last year.
Curse of the Bambino.
What did they do?
Curse of the Bambino.
Don't forget the Chargers lost to Trevor Lawrence last year 22-21, and they were up 21 points.
Right.
Like,
no, I remember.
Okay.
I had the fucking Chargers spread.
Okay. You thought you had that.
Easy money.
I think I agree with maybe just because it is the Chargers, it's the worst situation. Maybe by default, what Eric's trying to say is the Chargers is the worst situation.
Eric, I don't based on what the franchise looks like. If you gave me those names on paper, that cap option. No, it's not the worst situation. The second that you pull the reveal off and it's Los Angeles Chargers, I go, I'm not going there.
Yeah, Eric has convinced me. Yeah. I'm back on board. Absolutely.
You guys brought up valid points. Best thing about this is just it's everybody's opinion. But you guys bring up valid points, but I still wouldn't take that coaching job. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, dude.
LA,
I'd rather go be a special
Justin
teams
Herbert.
coordinator for a CFL team.
Eric, you love LA. LA is your town.
Absolutely.
LA and Justin Herbert, I think.
LA and Justin Herbert is Eric Washington's.
If you were a head coach, you would love to have LA and Justin Herbert. It's just all I'm going to say.
I would only coach in Philly. It's the only city that would accept me as I am and my flaws.
Give us your last takeaway, Eric. This is enough nonsense.
Last takeaway. I've been hammering this all year. I'm going to hammer it again. I'm fucking sick and tired of the fans. I'm sick and tired of the talking heads. 372 points to 135 points in their 10 wins. They beat two teams above 500. 59 points for, 129 points against in their 4 losses. They score 14 points per game in losses, 37 points per game in wins. They allow 13 points in wins, and they give up 32 points in losses. This is not a playoff championship caliber team. Go back to the drawing board. You guys got one lucky win against Philly on where you're supposed to win at home. Dallas is fake news. First round exit. Guarantee it. Lock it in. Guarantee it.
Lock it.
He has been saying it. Yeah, you could make a lock, Eric.
I'm locking it in. Fuck no. They may not even make the playoffs, but I'm going to say if they do, first round exit guaranteed.
First round exit guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Better hope they're not number 1.
I don't care if they play the Saints. I don't care if they play Tampa. I don't care who they play. They're out.
Well, right now they're a wild card, so they would play. Oh yeah, they would play the NFC South. Yeah, there's no chance this bet's hitting, dude. The NFC South is trash, big fella.
Locking it in. All right, Jermaine, your 2 takeaways.
If the Saints win out, and we already started with a win yesterday, we win the division. We're 10-7, and we host a playoff game. Right now, the Saints are 7-7. The Los Angeles Rams are 7-7, and the Minnesota Vikings are 7-7.
And guess who the Carolina Panthers have week 18?
You have
Tampa Bay
Buccaneers. So I need the Bucs to get a loss, but the Saints play the Bucs. So that's why they can, if they win out, especially with this Atlanta loss, if they win out, they will win the division and host a playoff game. So Vikings 7-7, Rams 7-7, Saints 7-7. Rams play the Saints on Thursday. I am now dubbing this Thursday night playoff game. And this is for all the marbles. If the Saints win, fuck yeah. I'm excited because I'm going to go to the playoffs. I have full confidence that if we beat this Rams team, we can beat our division rivals. If the Saints lose, fuck yeah. Dennis Allen's getting fired. We're drafting Jaden Daniels in the first. That's the hope and a prayer right now. I hope we fire all our coaches, we fire our general managers, and we bring in some new fucking blood. I'm tired of running the Sean Payton offense from 2005. Thank you for the Super Bowl, sir. So that's my number 1 takeaway. It's a Homer podcast. Had to make that Homer pick. There was going to be another takeaway. It was the 63 points, giving it up to a team that scored 0 the week before. But I want this moment. This is my moment. So I want it to take it to say that Christian McCaffrey for MVP.
Bet it.
It shouldn't be a quarterback this year. Right?
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
After the stat I just read.
Of the years that, you know what I mean, that quarterback should win, this is not that year. All quarterback play across the league is down, right? Brock Purdy is going to have an extra game. He only has 29 touchdowns right now. So let's say he throws, first of all, if he throws 12 in the next 3 games, then yeah, maybe we should give him the MVP.
Yeah.
But Christian McCaffrey is, you said it right, on pace for 2,200 all scrimmage yards. And he's on pace for, what was the touchdowns?
Hold on.
He's already at 20. So he's got to be on pace for 26, 27.
Yeah, let's see. He has sorry. Let's see. Where is it? He has rushing. He has 13 receiving. He has 7. So he has 20 in 14 games.
All right. So 20 divided by 14, it's 1.6 probably.
Yeah.
And then 1.6 times 17, what's he going to finish with? So he would finish
24.
with 24, 25?
Yeah, 24, 25.
Bro.
And he's got 1,200 yards on the ground. He's got 500 yards in the air or through the, receiving.
If he gets 2020 from a running back, it should be an MVP.
Over 2,000, yeah.
Over 2,000 yards and over 20 touchdowns should be an MVP season for a running back.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm not saying that no quarterback deserves it, and this isn't some Brock Purdy hate. I think Brock Purdy's been playing outstanding. I just think that in a year when the quarterbacks have been as what the fuck as it's been, right, where every backup and their mom is playing, and you have a running back doing something this special with 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, that maybe we give the MVP to a running back this year and fucking show some goddamn parity in this league. Tyreek Hill is on the precipice of breaking 2,000 yards receiving.
First time ever.
Receiving. And he called his shot at the beginning of the year. We came on this podcast and laughed that Tyreek Hill said he was going to get 2,000 yards. What does Tyreek Hill have right now?
Tyreek Hill. I
I
really wish the Carolina Panthers had a running back like CMC.
He's got 1542.
1542. Yep.
Oh man, that missed game is going to present a bugaboo.
Did you guys already discuss Adrian Peterson's stats when he won?
No, we did not.
348 carries, 2,097 yards, and 13 touchdowns in 16 games, and he won the MVP that year.
Damn, CMC's shitting all over that.
Jesus.
He's kind of shitting on it, but
he's gonna have. Well, he does get an extra game, so we'll just call the yards a wash. But he's already 7 touchdowns. Wait, how many touchdowns did he have?
Adrian Peterson had 13.
13, and he had
CMC's already 7 above him,
and he had over 2,300 yards total. 2,300 yards. Total.
Peterson with
receiving.
With receiving.
Okay. They didn't show that here, but my bad.
Man, I know it's not going to happen. CMC only has like 500 receiving yards or something. But if we can get CMC 1,020,
it'd be bonkers.
first of all, just 2020 like that. I don't know if I've ever seen that stat line.
Maybe LT.
Maybe LT.
Or Sean Alexander one year, but other than that, no.
LT, man, fuck, LT was special. I just had a moment with LT. So let's get into the betting slate so we can wrap this show up.
Yeah, I'll go quick through it. So one team, Baltimore, is traveling to the West Coast in prime time. Eric, give me the Niners minus 5.5 points.
Damn. Okay.
Carolina hosts Green Bay at home. They scored less than 10 points last week. Team scoring less than 10 points against the spread this year, 57%, 18-13. Give me Carolina plus 5.
Let's go. We're getting a Carolina run.
Carolina run. They've got it figured out. With spreads greater than 9.5. Normally we take the under. Taking the under this year is 11-24. That being said, give me the Bills Chargers over 42.5. Give me Buffalo minus 12. favorites when their spread is over 9.5 are 21-14 against the spread, 29-6 straight up. That's 60% and 82% respectively. So give me Buffalo -12. That being said, give me KC -10 and KC and the Raiders over 41.5. In the last 5 years, the KC total has not been under 30, and 4 of the last 5 have been over the current total of 41.5 and over 49. The only game that wasn't was 38, and that's because the Raiders scored 3 points.
Not this 63-point Raiders, dude.
Not this 63-point Raiders. Jermaine, can you look up what KC team total over 30 is?
Yes, indeed.
And then couldn't bet it, but the Giants have not won in Philly since 2013. The line right now, I believe, is 42.5, right, Eric? 43, 42.5?
43.5?
43.5. The last 5 games, the last 5 years, all the games have been under 45. So watch this line. If this line goes up over 45, I would like to take the under. But if it doesn't, I want no action. And then my last bet, the Detroit Lions, as good as they've been, have not beaten Minnesota in Minnesota in the last 5 years. Give me Minnesota money line.
Minnesota money line.
Ooh, that would create chaos.
Team
chaos.
They do. They close the season Minnesota versus Detroit, and Minnesota has 3 games left, and they're trying to make the playoffs. So it's going to be an interesting ride for Minnesota. Kansas City over 29.5 is plus 154. Kansas City over 30.5 is plus 190.
I'll take Kansas City over 30.5 at plus 190.
Okay. Yeah, dude, this stretch run right now is fascinating for playoff seeding. Just across the board, everywhere. Like, there's like 4 teams are tied for 8 and 6 in the AFC, right? So you have so Cleveland's 9 and 5, and they're the 5 seed. You have Jacksonville who's 8 and 6. You have Cincinnati who's 8 and 6. You have Indianapolis who's 8 and 6. You have Houston who's 8 and 6, and you have Buffalo who's 8 and 6. That's 5 teams fighting for 3 playoff spots. 2 of them are divisions, though, so that should be interesting to watch, to say the least. And then in the NFC, you have Minnesota 7-7, and then if Seattle wins today, they'd be 7-7. Bonkers.
They're not, though.
Team chaos.
Eric, they're not, though. Any other bets this week, Nick?
Nope, that's it.
That's all you're taking.
That's all I'm taking.
Fascinating. I want a Christmas Day parlay.
Ooh.
You want a Christmas Day parlay?
Yeah, we got 3 games on Christmas.
Yes, sir, we do.
So give me the Kansas City over.
Hold on. So Kansas City over
41.5.
Great pick based on Knicks Nuggets.
Give me you know what? Give me Baltimore plus 5.5.
Ooh. Bucking Knicks Nuggets trend. That would actually be a good bet. Seattle and Philadelphia aside, that bet is 1-2 on the year, straight up and against the spread.
Perfect. And then you know what? We got a double-digit spread here. I'm rocking a double-digit spread, but in the favorites, give me Philadelphia minus 10.5. It's gonna be risky because they can't stop the run or the pass.
So you're doing 10.5.
And their defense can't run the ball.
And so that puts you at plus 581.
Oh, perfect. Let's submit that for head. Oh, wait, no, that's Monday. Never mind.
You can't do Mondays.
Don't worry. Say no more. Dude, Miami versus Dallas.
Heavy Miami.
Over 51.5.
Yeah.
Just lock over 51.5.
Shootouts. Well, actually, one Nick Nugget that I forgot about that may interest you, Jermaine. Who do you like in Cincinnati, Pittsburgh?
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
It's Cincinnati in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But it's Jake Browning and fucking Mason Rudolph. Give me Pittsburgh. I'll take Pittsburgh money line at home.
Okay. That's a safe bet. I would also take Pittsburgh -3 in the last 5. The winning margin has been at least 3 or greater.
Okay. Pittsburgh's plus 2.5.
Yeah. So bet him to -3.
Okay. Give me Saints money line at +170.
Okay.
Rocking with the boys.
That's a homer pick for sure.
That's definitely a homer pick for sure, bro. Give me the Indianapolis Colts money line.
Okay.
And under 38 for Washington and the Jets.
Indianapolis, by the way, playing with a rest advantage, 9-9 since 2019. Atlanta 6-8 since 2019 with a rest disadvantage.
Dang. And then so this is my game of the week, right? It's the 125 game on Sunday. It's the Arizona Cardinals versus the Chicago Bears. First of all, huge for top 5 draft pick seeding. Just huge, right? Secondly, both these quarterbacks have gigantic question marks. I cannot tell you how many times Eric and I have discussed which if of these two or both or none are going to get traded this offseason. It's just an all-around fascinating football game for all the non-playoff winning reasons, right? So you almost want to be the losing team in this, but I'll take the over 44 in this matchup.
Okay.
And I know Chicago is the favorite, but give me Arizona money line at +170.
All right.
Hell yeah.
And then I might put a little prop parlay together with Kyler Murray and Justin Fields.
Nice.
maybe a little anytime touchdown action, Kyler Murray and Justin Fields. Maybe that's what I'll do for my game of the week.
Stay tuned.
I'm going to have to start adding a game of the week into our betting portfolio. Any other matchups on this jump out to you boys?
Eric?
So on my 3 bets, I'm going to give you guys locks here. I guarantee these are going to hit. So Minnesota Vikings
Lock them in.
line. Minnesota Vikings money line.
Lock them in.
Then we're going to take Miami Dolphins money line. And lastly, we're going to take Philadelphia -10.5.
Parlay it.
My motherfucker just said this is a lock, as if this isn't what I need to happen to
Right.
be the 1 seed again.
Right.
Get fucked. Just come out and name it. Just name it. This is the Philly 1 seed special, bro.
You know, see it, dude.
Because I support my boy, Eric, here's a stat for you.
+719, bro.
The Giants are 8-8 with a rest advantage. Philadelphia 7-10 against the spread with a rest disadvantage. So go Philly. Not really.
This is the I need this to happen for the 1 seed parlay.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. You guys, nothing else. No other bets.
Nothing for me.
Oh, all right. Good talk, Eric.
Oh,
Hey, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Podcast Room303. I've been your host, Jermaine Clone Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us the EPE. We'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.